Oma Gana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Speaking on Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day is always a bittersweet experience. We think deeply about our separation from him on the physical plane. And we long to come closer to him through the Vani, through his instructions. I remember when I first realized that Srila Prabhupada was departing from the vision of this world. I was at the BBT in Los Angeles as the production manager and final copy editor for Prabhupada's books. And I never at all considered that Srila Prabhupada would depart until 3 days before his departure. I received on my desk the manuscript sent from India. The manuscript of the 13th chapter of the 10th canto, the Brahma Vimohana Lila. And I remember reading that manuscript and tears pouring from my eyes, because somehow or other, as I was reading it, I had the distinct insight that this would be the last chapter of the Bhaktivedanta purports. And sure enough, 3 days later, the news was announced at Mangalarti in Los Angeles. I recall the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Uddhava is commiserating with Vidura. Uddhava says something very dramatic, very striking. Krishna Jumani Nimloche Gareshu Ajagarena Ha. Sri Uddhava says, my dear Vidura, the sun, S-U-N, the sun of the world, the Krishna sun, has set. And everything around us has been swallowed up by the snake of time. Therefore, what can we say about our welfare? How can we be happy? Yes, this is the immediate reaction that we experience. The pain of separation. Uddhava wanted Vidura to understand that I fully feel what you're feeling. How can we be happy? How can anyone have any proper welfare in such darkness? The whole world is plunged into such darkness. And Srila Prabhupada points out in the purport how in the darkness thieves thrive, ghosts become active, all kinds of unwanted elements proliferate. The beauty of the lotus flower closes. So yes, this is one side. So poignantly presented by Sri Uddhava. But then, just like the sun, when it disappears at night, it's not finished. Similarly, our relationship with Srila Prabhupada was not finished and is not finished. The sun, S-U-N, of the Vani rose in the sky. Still, we'd love to have Srila Prabhupada's Vapu, his physical association. He himself, when speaking about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur on the Disappearance Day celebration of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada said that certainly it would be so wonderful if he were physically present now. But then he asserted, but he's always with me. And this is what any disciple striving to be genuine wants to achieve: the constant presence of Srila Prabhupada. So on the one hand, the sun of the world has set. Krishna leaves the ordinary vision of this world, and so does his devotee. Krishna goes from universe to universe, presenting his transcendental leelas, and his empowered devotees go from place to place, planet to planet, universe to universe, spreading the glories of Krishna. Just as Srila Prabhupada explained about his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said, my Guru Maharaj preached in this world, on this planet, and then he went somewhere else to continue the same activity. So in that way, the sun is always present, even though apparently it's disappeared from our sight. Just like the sun planet and its sunlight are never extinguished. They just disappear from our ordinary vision. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada is always with his sincere followers. I remember, one last point, I remember having the service while at the BBT in Los Angeles of caring for all of Srila Prabhupada's correspondence, letters from him as well as the letters to him. So I got to see both sides. And I saw quite a few letters containing questions asked by devotees over a 10-year span of time. Quite a few questions in which devotees asked, if we break our vows and desist from our bhakti practices, will you, Srila Prabhupada, come in a future birth of ours and reclaim us? So the first answer I saw in the late 60s was, yes, so you should maintain your vows so that I won't have to come back to get you. Then later, in the 70s, the answer changed a bit. In fact, one response by Srila Prabhupada said, when asked, will you come back to rescue fallen disciples because the relationship between the disciple and guru is eternal. And Prabhupada responded, I'm still thinking about that. In other words, we shouldn't be so carefree and casual. We should take our relationship very seriously. We should make the preservation of that relationship our top priority. So this is sweet, that somehow or other, despite the laws of time and space, the sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada can always look forward to increased association with him. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.